Hi, this is Vicki Hyman with NJ Advanced Media. I am the TV critic, and I viewed Ballers, which is premiering on Sunday night on HBO at 10 p.m. with Joe Giglio, our sports community engagement specialist, to get a feel for how true to life this comedy about active and retired players in the NFL is. It stars Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as a retired Miami Dolphins lineman, I think. My football is not so good.
That's all right.
Who retires and then goes on to become a financial management expert, and he's trying to get his fellow athletes to join his management company and make some money and secure a nice nest egg for himself. So there are retired players in the show. There are active players. How did it feel to you?
I enjoyed it, and I thought it was real. It was cool watching some of the active players. I'd heard they were going to be in this show, and then just the stories they were telling. As Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was, like you said, trying to become this agent or counsel to them, and a lot of the issues that they got in the first couple episodes we watched, they were really true to what. I talk about it all the time on my radio show with athletes that get in trouble, and there was one guy who punched someone, and then there was the guy who basically his whole family was basically mooching off
Vernon.
of him. Yeah, Vernon, and he was losing all his money. I mean, he had made millions of dollars.
He lost all of his money.
Yeah, they took it on him, and it's sad because that is a real reality these guys go through, and people say, how do you blow $12 million? Well, if you have 60 or 70 people taking your money, it could go pretty quickly. I thought it was good, though. I really thought that they brought the real life off the field. There was a show on ESPN way back that they called Playmakers, and that one was more inside the locker room, kind of what happens inside the football aspect. But this was off the field stuff, and I think that's even more interesting sometimes.
Well, the other thing that people are saying that, oh, it's just another Entourage, but I really feel that they're going for something a little bit more than that here. It's not. I mean, there is jiggle, there is fast cars, there is there's drugs, there's a lot of ostentatious living here, which I think a lot of people want to see. They want to live vicariously. But from like some of the opening moments where you see The Rock's Spencer get out of bed, and you see that there's something not quite right with how he's feeling, and you realize that the sport does take a toll, as we've seen from the NFL lawsuits. I mean, it takes a major toll, and I think they're also trying to show that here, which actually adds a little bit of drama and depth to the show.
I agree. That was the opening scene. He got up and he was all, his neck was all cranky. He's not even a player anymore. Like we said, he's retired now. And then there was the one story, I thought actually the one that resonated with me the most was the guy who, he was done with playing career and he couldn't find a job, and he was just kind of loafing around. And that happens to these guys because their whole life is so structured, and then all of a sudden they don't know what to do with themselves. They're laying on a couch, and then they become depressed, and all this stuff comes into it. We take it for granted. Every day we have something to do. Their lives at 28, 29 sometimes, they don't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah, I mean, their identity has been so tied up with also being a football star.
Right.
And then they're kind of, once that character, Charles, he's like, once you give up the helmet, once you give up the jersey, and then there's nothing left.
There's no structure either in their days. I mean, for these football players, their whole lives are so structured. Practice then, eat then, and when you take that away, they don't know what to do with themselves. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool too.
So as a whole, did you enjoy it?
I did. I'll watch it. I don't watch much TV. I mean, in sports I watch most all the time, but I'll watch this show because it caught my attention.
Do you? I mean, you mentioned that there were cameos, and the only cameo that I caught was Victor Cruz, and I don't think he was in the episodes that we saw. But I only knew it was Victor Cruz because they said it was Victor Cruz. So who did I miss?
I believe Antonio Brown was in it from the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Deshaun Jackson, who was cut by the Eagles last year. And the interesting part about that was Deshaun. Part of the reason he may have been cut by the Eagles was there maybe some gang ties, maybe some issues off of the field. So I thought it was interesting that he decided to put himself in that scenario with the show there. I mean, he wasn't doing anything wrong in the show, but he was always the guy that was off the field, got himself into some nonsense.
Well, good. Now I know.
Yes.
They should actually have little name tags or something.
That would be beneficial.
But I think everybody's thinking, well, it's a guy show, it's a bro show. But I am not interested in football at all, and I found myself really enjoying it. And part of it is just the crazy charisma that Dwayne Johnson has. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how I missed it.
So you look all knocked out, but on the inside, you're going crazy.
No one cares about these guys the way that you do. I just use the weed for pain management.
You're not even injured.
I got emotional pain.
I ain't holding your hand, only your money. Anything that has to do with finance, I'm gonna handle.
What can I do?
You see that beautiful girl right there? You get a number for me.
Oh, he's great. I mean, he always had. I was a big wrestling fan back in the day, so I've always known he has that kind of on-camera presence and charisma. And this is almost a perfect role for him because he played football at the University of Miami before he became a wrestler. He hurt himself. That's why he couldn't play anymore. So this is like the role I think he always could have played.
And Rob Corddry as his boss, who's basically like, you know, Dwayne Johnson's more of a straight man in this show, and Rob Corddry plays his incredibly venal, incredibly impolitic, politically incorrect boss, and I thought he was hysterical.
Yeah, that was funny. He was trying to push him to really, you know, kind of take advantage of his former friends, players he played with at their weakest moment, which that's the role of an agent, but it's weird to see them say it because you just know agents do that, but it's like, yeah, take advantage of these guys. They need it.
Well, the thing about Dwayne Johnson Spencer is that, yes, he even tells them, it's like, I'm holding your wallet, I'm not holding your hand, but you could tell he really does care about these people, and he really wants to see them not make the same mistakes that he made, because even though he seems to be living the life, he's got the custom-made suits, he's living in a great condo, he's got the girls, you know, he does not have a lot of money anymore.
No, and that's kind of the backdrop for us, that he's trying to help, but he needs this just as much as they need him.
All right. Well, we both really enjoyed it, and that's coming from two very different perspectives, and should be good. I hope you guys check it out. 10 p.m. HBO on Sunday night.